This is Football Talks. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is your transfer update around all of the big guns around the Premier League. The 26th of May. Yes, the window is not open, but deals look like they are getting done. Updates on Florian Wirtz, Kevin De Bruyne, Victor Gyökeres. Where's Garnacho going? Yes. Interesting situation developing there between him, possibly, and Jadon Sancho. I know. But we are starting with the big one. Of course, we are not going to be done until this record bid, this record transfer from Bayer Leverkusen to Liverpool for Florian Wirtz is done. This is always going to be the top subject. It's a massive bid. In fact, we have got updates coming in from Fabrizio Romano regarding Liverpool's first bid. Now, communications are carrying on today, on this day, on Monday. The first bid is approximately over €100 million package already. So you can imagine that this deal isn't going to be a million miles away. Obviously, both clubs locking horns in negotiations on where we're actually at. But we know that Bayer Leverkusen are actually looking for around about the €126 million mark for Florian Wirtz. And I think Liverpool, if this bid is right and what Romano is saying is already in on over 100 million, then we know we're not a million miles away, and this could get wrapped up very quickly. And Florian Wirtz could be a Liverpool player even by the end of this week, before the window even opens. It does look like teams and clubs, are trying to get deals done so they can then announce them and register players when the transfer window opens on the 1st of June. This gives the Club World Cup teams that space, them first 2 weeks of June, to actually register the players in. But other clubs as well taking advantage of this. Obviously, we've seen Manchester United have got the here we go. We cannot get anything official until, obviously, the transfer window opens. So it looks like negotiations are going full steam ahead now that the season's over. And we're in this little grace period between the last weekend of the season and obviously the transfer window opening next week. So I feel like this is where everyone is at right now, and it does look like Liverpool already deep into the negotiations of since they've had the green light to go for the young German forward after obviously Bayern Munich and Manchester City dropped out. City drop out themselves. Bayern Munich were binned off by Florian Wirtz. He was more attracted to the Arne Slot proposal at Liverpool over Bayern. We touched on that and went into detail on that on a previous show. And it now looks like this is now moving along to the next stage, and it's not going to be far away. The first bid in substantial money there, like I said, and it's not a million miles apart in terms of the valuations and the package together. I don't think Liverpool mess around when it comes to getting transfers done. They have been all ready to go, I think, and prepared for this from winning or having been confirmed as Premier League title winners a few weeks ago now. So yeah, Liverpool in full steam mode right now, and we're expecting an update regarding Gyökeres and obviously an announcement officially again from Frimpong as well. The medicals going ahead, transfer fees agreed, negotiations almost done for Wirtz, progressing with Gyökeres. A big week ahead for Liverpool next week when everything becomes official anyway, and they are leading the pack right now in the transfer window. I think slightly behind them United with the Cunha deal and getting that done, but we are now starting to see everybody else make their big significant moves. What Manchester City will do, I think, is going to be key to this, because now Kevin De Bruyne has left. That announcement has been made. We spoke yesterday about Jack Grealish and where he is going and what's going to happen with him. Clearly looking like his future is away from Man City. But on the Kevin De Bruyne situation, Romano has just updated the potential move to Napoli. A 3-year offer of 23 million over them 3 years is on the table from Napoli to Kevin De Bruyne. Does that affect the Alejandro Garnacho move from Manchester United to Napoli, which we know Giovanni Manor, the director of football there at Napoli, has already organised a meeting between United reps, Garnacho reps, and trying to get a £50 million package over the line for Garnacho. Maybe it's 2 signings going in, really going and attacking the Manchester side of the Premier League, Napoli, with Scott McTominay last summer, Kevin De Bruyne, and maybe Garnacho as well this summer. That could be a real force to be reckoned with in the Champions League next season, the Napoli, if they get their main targets. But yes, Kevin De Bruyne, we spoke on the live show on Sunday regarding his future and where he should go. I think it was more of a debate rather than anything dead cert, but now we've got significant news and updates on Napoli offering that contract of 23 million over 3 years for Kevin De Bruyne at the age that he is as well. That's going to be difficult to turn around, and Champions League and competitive football, and a good chance of picking up more winners' medals for Kevin De Bruyne. Having a potless season with Manchester City to finish was disappointing for him, but an opportunity to go and play in Italy. Will it be under Antonio Conte? We don't know, because there is news coming out from Italy that Antonio Conte is on the verge of leaving Napoli right now. So it's mind-boggling and very interesting as to trying to figure out what's going on over there in Italy right now. But we do know that the club are progressing and moving forward with all of their targets, and Kevin De Bruyne has got an offer on the table from Napoli, so this is probably going to go ahead. I can't see him looking anywhere else. It's a great opportunity for him now, and yeah, it looks like Kevin De Bruyne is going from one sky blue to another, and Napoli are ready to make him theirs. Chelsea now, and what's happening with the situation now. The season has finished, and obviously after the season was finished, we were expecting an announcement on Jadon Sancho, whether or not Chelsea go with the 5 million penalty and send him back to United, or pay the 25 million and keep him at Chelsea. Now, if Sancho goes back from the playing staff starting the season, and then forwards that Chelsea have had on their books, you're looking at Mudryk, you're looking at Felix, and you're looking at Sancho. All three of them could be leaving Chelsea if Chelsea decide to pay that penalty to Manchester United. And that leaves room for, you guessed it again, Alejandro Garnacho. Is that going to be the difference in this move happening? What we're looking at now is going back to the January transfer window, and the word from the Garnacho transfer was that he would prefer to stay in England mid-season, doesn't want to go to another country mid-season. So does that push him towards Napoli rather than Chelsea at this stage of proceedings? Now, we also do know that Garnacho's price is going to be negotiated down, and Napoli are already involved, like we just said, in negotiations with representatives from Garnacho, and obviously speaking to Manchester United about the price. It was reported 60-70 million was the asking price, but a compromise of around 50 million might be met with United and Napoli. Do Chelsea then come and try and steal in on this now that Garnacho is actually a cheaper price? I mean, Chelsea fans, let me know, would you take Garnacho? Is he an upgrade on what you have got there in terms of the Felix, the Mudryks, the Sanchos, these types of players, the Maduekes? Is it worth bringing Garnacho in at that price? Young player, obviously many years ahead, cheap wages for Chelsea as well, and Maresca's record with younger players is excellent. Could this work out perfect for Chelsea to steal in at a cheaper price right now? Maybe. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But it looks like Garnacho's situation is moving fast, even though he's on the plane to Malaysia for Manchester United's post-season tour. It's not going to last long. It's going to be done by the end of this week, so no drama there. He will be back, and obviously things can move forward from that point. Chelsea in the Club World Cup, so could want to get this deal done quickly if they were indeed interested in him. Victor Gyökeres could be going to a Club World Cup team, could be going to a big Premier League team, could be staying put at Sporting. His uncle, and then words that came out of his uncle's mouth regarding him saying he's going to stay at Sporting. Honestly, right now when you look at it, it's like Arsenal are debating whether to take Benjamin Sesko or Victor Gyökeres as their top target. Now that Newcastle have completed the season and managed to scrape in, luckily, into the Champions League final after the last games yesterday in the Premier League, losing their home game, but luckily for them, both Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa below them lost their games also. So Newcastle in. Alexander Isak now is going to stay at Newcastle, so that one should be put to bed. But Gyökeres and Benjamin Sesko now obviously come into the frame. Gyökeres' season finishes with a starring role again in winning the cup in Portugal for Sporting, but it does look like it's gone a bit quiet now. Gyökeres has said no to United. Florian Plettenberg has come out and said that that's happening right now. But what about Arsenal? Which way do they go? Target number one, Alexander Isak is off. That's not happening. He's staying at Newcastle now that they can afford him with Champions League money. That brings in Sesko and Gyökeres. The lap is another interesting one because obviously we're talking about it on Forever United TV this morning. It looks like he's edging towards Manchester United. He's had positive talks with Chelsea. Do Chelsea then go in for Gyökeres as well? Because there is talk that they have contacted Gyökeres now that they're in the Champions League again. That gives them a big bonus. and to work with a little bit more money. So maybe Gyökeres is heading to Chelsea. There is so many things happening right now, and I think by the end of this week in particular, before that window officially opens, we're going to know on all of them names that we've just mentioned there. On Florian Wirtz, Kevin De Bruyne, Alejandro Garnacho and Victor Gyökeres, we're going to know exactly where them players are at. I think it's looking clear for Wirtz. I think it's looking very clear for Kevin De Bruyne, but Garnacho and Gyökeres, very interesting. We will see. Thank you for tuning in and watching. This is your update on Football Talks, everybody. Let me know in the comment section what you think about all of them deals, whether you think any of them are going to come off, whether you think that this is going to be one of the most expensive transfer windows yet. It is looking that way at the moment, and it's not even started. Give a video a like if you're loving the content and updates, and of course hit that subscribe button as well to keep up to date with all of the Premier League transfer news.